Alrighty guys, we're back for Izzet Storm Scale, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments. So thank you so much for the suggestion, it's gonna be a fun one. It was essentially to try out Stormscale Scion in an Izzet build. So that's what we're doing. It's a 6 mana 4/4 flying dragon. Other dragons you control get +1/+1. But it's really in here for that bottom ability, Storm. All right, so when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So how many spells can we cast before Stormscale, or how many do we need to? I'd say just a couple, and then give them haste with like a Bitter Reunion, and we'll be fine and dandy, hopefully pushing so much damage through on that turn, or lethal damage, right? So how are we doing this? Well, we're pairing this with Reenact the Crime, which is a 4 mana instant speed, triple blue sources in the casting cost, guys, which is pretty steep, right? So exile target non-land card in a graveyard that was put there from anywhere this turn. Copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So the idea here is to, of course, get the Stormscale to the grave and then cast Reenact the Crime as early as turn 4, hopefully. Because we can set up with like Kitsa, Otterball Elite, which if it's already established, on your turn 4, you can tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. Go ahead and discard Stormscale, then play Reenact the Crime right then and there on your 4th turn. Bring back the Stormscale. That storm count is already up because you cast the Reenact the Crime, right? But there's other ways too, like Highway Robbery has the plot cost here. And when you plot something, of course, it does say you can cast it as a sorcery on a later turn. So it does count as casting when you cast it for free as a plot, which works really well with Storm too, right? Now, of course, you may discard a card or sacrifice a land. If you do, draw 2 cards. The card you want to discard is the Stormscale. Then you play Reenact the Crime. So even more Storm for the Scion when it actually comes time. That's if we actually want to do it on turn 4. We don't have to do it on turn 4. We could wait till like turn 5, make sure we have open mana for like Bitter Reunion or something, or even later in the game where we can continuously cast other things out of hand before reenacting the crime for the Stormscale. All that sounds pretty darn cool, right? We also have ways to cast things for free like Capricious Hellraiser here on the top end, 6 mana 4/4. Costs 3 less to cast if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. Got to be 100% with you guys. I don't think that's going to be unheard of at all to get 9 or more cards in the grave. We have so many ways to discard. If the game does go on long enough, I'd say it would be pretty unlikely for you to not have 9 cards in the grave at that point, right? So now when this creature enters, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. What if we had to reenact the crime off of that? And then reenact the crime, a Stormscale or something? I don't know what that line of play would have to look like because the Stormscale would have also had to hit the grave that turn too, but you never know, man. Now we also have an Etali here on the top end, also a way to cast things for free, right? You can cast any number of spells, which the cast is important when you read the Storm. It says whenever you cast a spell. And then Omniscience here as well, 10 mana enchantment. I don't know why it took me so long to go over this because this is actually one of the main pieces too. We have 3 of them packed in. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. All right, awesome stuff. So another thing that we want to reenact the crime with, because it says non-land card. Doesn't have to be a creature. So same concept, dude. You can get a turn 4 Omniscience in here with cards like Otterball or a plotted up Highway Robbery, which is pretty wild. Now, Hellraiser and Stormscale are all dragons, so that should work well with a Roiling Dragonstorm. When it enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Then when a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Seems pretty good, right? Stocks up our graveyard, but then also, since it's returning itself, we can cast it out later on too, and maybe boost that storm for the Stormscale. We also have a Glacial Dragonhunt here. It's Izzet color, sorcery speed. Draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragonhunt deals 3 damage to target creature. Also has Harmonize for 4 in Izzet colors. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Only a 2-up for a reason, though. I just kind of want to see how much that actually does today. Not a lot of removal packed in, so there's one of them. Here's the other removal, Ill-Timed Explosion. Makes a lot of sense because it also helps us stock up the grave, or you could just draw on it if you're not wiping the board too. So Ral Crackling Wit is actually another way to potentially have something established that can help us discard without actually having to pay mana with that -3 ability. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. If you already had Ral established and it passes back to you, you can go -3 potentially, right? Discard some cards, use your mana for Reenact the Crime. Also has that +1 where you generate otters, which could come in handy. Also, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a loyalty counter on this, and then the -10 might not be unheard of then. Draw 3 cards, you get an emblem with instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Okay, there's not too many instants and sorceries in here, unfortunately. Well, Reenact the Crime, Ill-Timed Explosion, Highway Robbery, and Glacial Dragonhunt, but yeah, we actually have a lot of enchantments packed in instead. A ton of dual lands. I mean, triple red in the casting cost of Hellraiser, triple blue in the casting cost of Reenact the Crime. I don't think we could have been any more greedy. So, so we have 4 Lighthouse packed in. It enters tapped unless a player has 13 or less life, which is probably going to be quite often, guys. We are getting completely run over by mice. A very fast deck list, so Lighthouse is probably coming out untapped more than you would think. We have the Verge packed in here. The deck list is leaning a little red, so it's fine. I do think that the Verge is going to be good dual land in general, especially since we have Thundering Falls packed in here, as well as a mountain and an island. So hopefully the Verge is just a great Izzet dual land. We also have a Scry land in here too, all 4 canals, all 4 Shivan Reefs too. So many dual lands because it's just such a greedy deck list, but hopefully I landed on something good. 24 lands ought to be enough. All right, some honorable mentions, guys. Mox Jasper almost made the cut. Rona is another option instead of the Otterball Elite. I think Otterball Elite's going to be a little better, but maybe both. Fear of Missing Out was something I considered, and the Draco Genesis also could have been pretty darn cool. All right, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. Sometimes there's just way too much to go over in a deck list like today, huh? Well, either way, look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be pretty janky, man, but I think when we pull off the combo, it's going to be wild. I think it's actually, I mean, well, first of all we need is a Reenact the Crime in hand. We're ready for that turn 4 Omniscience, and we have all 4 Reenact the Crimes. Oh, but we're going to need more mana too, of course. Trading out with Bitter, trading out with Roiling Dragonstorm. I better say the whole name, I guess. Yeah, I like this. We're keeping this. Probably start with the Roiling Dragonstorm. Establishing the Bitter Reunion's pretty fine too. Capricious Hellraiser. Not bad. That's a 6 mana way to get an Omniscience out of the grave too, so. Alright, I'm going to go Dragonstorm since we get to draw the 2 before discarding, unlike the Bitter Reunion here. So now we have the 4 mana. I'm going to ditch in one of the Omniscience. That's established in the grave now for when it comes time for Hellraiser, if we can get there. Outside of that, if we have a Reenact the Crime, we still have the other one to discard in hand. If we find the Reenact the Crime, of course. Glacial Dragonhunt. Start with the Surveil on the Thundering Falls, see what we see. Roiling Dragonstorm. I don't mind another one, but the opponent's going to start giving us a problem, huh? But I think we'll keep it. Is that okay? No, I'll send it. I'll send it. That's fine too. Glacial Dragonhunt. We should pick up the Challenger while we can. Has to be a non-land card though. Oh, crap. Crap, I like all these non-land cards. I'm going to say Bitter Reunion. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. Yeah, no, we need to hit this Challenger, though. Now, Reef might come down next turn, but I'm thinking the Lighthouse. Okay, Quarry Steel Cutter. Turn inside out. Looks like Lighthouse is coming down untapped, guys. I'll tell you what, man, it's going to happen often. At least we got to our 4th turn. Wow, they go Sacrifice on the Scamp, too. We're in danger, guys. Big time, big time. Oh, the Sacrifice on the Scamp. Yeah, of course, since it's Turn inside out. I'm so used to Monstrous Rage sometimes. Okay, Verge. I don't know if we're surviving next turn, unfortunately. But if we would have had Reenact the Crime in hand, we would have attempted the setup with the Kitsa earlier before the 4th turn to try the Omniscience. Man, a Fold Mouse, and like Corey Steelcutter's about to power up another Monk. No, they're going to flip the Emberheart Challenger. Okay. That's scary. They find a mountain. Double strike. They go for the swing. We do have a block here, but we take 4. I don't want to lose the Kitsa, though, because we might find that Reenact the Crime off the top. At that point, Hellraiser might... Oh, we don't find it, but that's okay. That's okay, guys. 5th mana. We're 1 short from the Hellraiser, which could have potentially hit the Omniscience from the grave. Yep, I would say the opponent just went a little too fast for us this time round. Now, we could use the... actually, what am I saying, guys? I didn't use the Kitsa ability yet. So we might as well start with that. Let's see if we find the Reenact the Crime. We don't, unfortunately, but I'd say it was worth it. And then we could just get rid of the... I guess the tapped land would be fine here, right? And we could have had... Glacial Dragonhunt if we tapped the Kitsa. Potentially done 3 damage. I guess this also would have drawn us a card. Only we would have popped one of their creatures. But the Kitsa would also be... Yeah, we could have spent 5 mana on this to pop one of their creatures. But they were too far along anyways, damage-wise. This also would have been a good game to see one of our 2 board wipes. But... we only got 2 in here, so we can't complain too much. Did some trading out. Dropping the Bitter Reunion is probably not the greatest. Hey, good game, opponent. we got completely run over, but if we would have had a way to find 1 more turn, then the deck list, you know, this is very much a combo deck list, then we were set up to potentially hit that Omniscience out of the grave with the Hellraiser on turn 6 here. So... I don't know, man. I don't know. Any deck list is going to struggle against super aggressive mono red. I think we can get there. I actually, that first game actually gave me a lot of confidence now. I think this combo might be easier than I'm thinking. Yeah, because once you hit the Omniscience, and then you start... I mean, we had like another Hellraiser in hand too. Playing a second one, we could have potentially hit some cards draw out of our graveyard as well. Bounce the Roiling back to our hand, right? We had 1 on the board there. We go first. Great news. All right. Surveil land. It's going to be our turn 1. Powers up the Verge. Now with all 4 Verge, I'm wondering... Okay. Kitsa, Otterball, Elite. I'm going to keep it. It gives us a way to filter on the board potentially too. Oh no, Swift Spear. Well, thank goodness we went first, but that is really bad news. All right, let's pop the Swift Spear while we can. See what we draw. Hellraiser number 2. I say we send one of the Hellraisers. That's no problem. Yeah, because we're pretty far from Hellraiser. And everything else in hand, like the extra trading out with the Highway Robbery, the Kitsa as well. One of the Highway Robberies could have been potentially discarded. So I'm a little concerned about the Verge right now. Like, we got lucky, we saw a Surveil land for this game. But what if we only see Verge and one of the other dual lands? Then we might have a lot of trouble casting out the Reenact the Crime, right? And I'm only seeing that right now. Okay, so they go Slickshot Show Off. I will also plot up for the turn opponent. No, I'll set up Otterball Elite, actually. I changed my mind. Even though they could go Slickshot Show Off and drop a Lightning Strike on the Otterball, at least it would be a Lightning Strike that's not hitting our face. Okay, here comes the monks. Bring it on. Bring it on, monks. Surprised they didn't go Slickshot. I guess they want to go a bigger Slickshot next turn. Yeah, these fast matchups are going to be pretty tough, man. They really are. I'm going to take the turn. We're going to... Let's see, that's our 4th mana. Let's go. Let's cast... I want to save the Kitsa as a blocker. Let's full cast 1 Highway Robbery. They are sorcery speed. We're going to discard a card. We're going to ditch the Lighthouse because we have a chance of finding more mana anyways. Okay, there's a Stormscale. That's good news. Next, we will plot up the other Highway Robbery. Oh, Vigilance, guys. Vigilance. Make sure we get a couple damage through. Okay. Hopefully I'm playing this out well enough too, guys. Although these deck lists don't give us a lot of options sometimes. Hopefully the options that we do have, hopefully I'm making good decisions here. I might block the Swift Spear. I don't know if I want to trade out the island right now. They have 1 card remaining in hand, guys. Do you think it's going to be more boost for all this prowess? I guess if it is, it kind of is what it is, right? Because they'd have 9, they'd have 15 getting through if it's like a monstrous rage or more burn. We better block. We better. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Do we want to trade out the island with the Kitsa? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a shore up, actually. I'd say good thing we blocked. Other words, we would have died this turn. So, yeah, do we want to trade out with the Kitsa? Looks like we might not get to the 6th mana again this game. At 4 mana. We have the Highway Robbery to send the Stormscale. I think I'll save the 5th mana just in case, I guess, right? And we will... Oh, ill-timed explosion is fantastic here, man. Holy cow. I'm actually going to ditch the island now. Okay, no trample on the Swift Spear, down to 5. Holy cow, ill-timed explosion is wild stuff. Reenact the Crime. Dude. The problem is we have to... Okay, we still have to wait. Because, yeah, we have Highway Robbery. Stormscale. It's just not enough. We have to... No matter what, we have to wipe the board. And it's going to be Hellraiser, unfortunately. Well, first of all, I always get ahead of myself. Because we start with the draws on a lot of these cards. So another Stormscale. I think both Hellraisers is probably the discard, unfortunately. All right, now they still have a Quarry Steelcutter. We could still die, depending on their draw, depending on what kind of cards they have. Oh, it's mana. We're in this, dude. We're in this, bro. Okay, all right, let's do the combo. Highway Robbery, discard a card, discard Stormscale. Reenact the Crime. Stormscale Scion. Yeah, Storm for 2. Boom, boom, boom. And then, might as well play Lighthouse for the turn. They're at 18, guys. They're at 18. Let's see what they see. Oh, that's good. That's really good, but we have great blockers. Yeah, all right. I guess since they were still out of cards in their hand, I guess it wasn't really good because they still needed more ways to see even more off the top. We had 18 on the board, taking out this brand new Izzet Steel Cutter that people have been talking about, but I haven't seen it too much. I really haven't. That honestly, I don't even know. That might have been my first time actually going against it. I don't really know. I've been seeing Corey Steel Cutter pop up from time to time. I don't know if I've seen the Izzet version, but I know you guys have been talking about it. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? I can't believe we were able to pull off the Reenact the Stormscale. That was friggin' sick, man. I mean, all 4 of them packed in for a very good reason, huh? Okay, keeping it. Yeah, with all the trading out that we're doing with the reunions and everything too, I feel like, well, first of all, we want to start with the Surveil land. So we have Canal for next turn. I'll keep the mana on top, because worst comes to worst, we can just send it to the Bitter Reunion. Which we might actually, I guess we could have sent it and sent whatever was on top then instead, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a similar concept, I guess. We could have dug a little deeper, but that's okay. The idea was I wanted something to discard to the reunion, but then whatever was on top, we could have also discarded to the Bitter Reunion. So Lighthouse can come down successfully here. We go Roiling Dragonstorm. I guess we'll do that first. See what we see. Draw 2. Yeah, some of them require us to discard first. Others we draw first, then discard. So it can be a little confusing, but... Alright, we'll ditch one of the reefs without any issues here. And then we'll get the other Thundering Falls for more Surveil. They go Sun Pearl. Okay. Another Bitter Reunion. I don't know. Do I like this? Not really. We have another one in hand. I'd rather dig a little bit deeper, a little bit closer to the Reenact the Crime. This one's for 2. It's going to be Momentum Breaker. The discard is the Reef. Totally fine. We still have 5 mana then. Omniscience. Okay. Start with Bitter Reunion. Discard the... Oh crap, what do I want to discard? I guess I want another 2 open, so I guess a Lighthouse. Again, we're probably going to find more mana anyways. We want to save these in hand for Reenact the Crime when it comes time. Or we can send the Omniscience, potentially pick it up with Hellraiser when it comes time. Nah, I'm thinking Reenact the Crime. It's going to be the go-to. Alright, Kitsa's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of options, man. I hope I'm playing it out well enough for you guys. United Battlefront. Oh. Oh. Crap, dude. Oh, that's scary. Okay, okay. That's really scary. Okay, we're kind of in danger, right? We should go Ill-Timed Explosion. Get the Canal down, get ready for our 6-mana Stormscale, but unfortunately, it's just going to be a 4/4. I don't know about that. This would be a much better game to actually see Hellraiser instead. We have 4 of each of them. 4 Scions, 4 Hellraisers. I guess before we play land, we start with Ill-Timed Explosion. We just have to poke for 2, but we're trying to find more here too. Another Omniscience. I guess we could get 1 into the grave, save as much mana as possible. 1 into the grave means we're 1 step closer to... if we find a Hellraiser, maybe we can hit it back with that. And then we can send the Canal, because the Verge is going to be powered up for the rest of the game here. 10 damage. A little bit overkill, honestly, but that's okay. Now, yeah, with Kitsa getting picked up, if we see Reenact the Crime off the top, it's going to be a little hard to pull off getting one of these into the grave. So Hellraiser is definitely a better choice for this game right now. Another Kitsa. Not bad. I don't mind that. Yeah, we have the Stormscale, but not worth it as just a 4/4. Especially against a deck list that has Momentum Breaker. Seal from Existence. they might have just, they might be waiting for the next United Battlefront now that Caretaker's Talent's established. We could give it haste, trade one of these out. We still have 4 mana. We could give it haste, ditch the Omniscience, maybe find a Reenact the Crime, which would be wild. I'd say it's not worth it though, right? There's 4 remaining. Oh no. Not my Otterball Elite. No. Okay. Okay. Guys, our Hellraiser only costs 3 mana because we have 9 cards in the grave, so Hellraiser, Reenact the Crime. Any of our combo pieces off the top will be great. Any of our card draw off the top would be great too. We got a lot of that packed in. We have 3 more Dragonstorms. We have 2 more Bitter Reunions. One is passing it back. Reenact the Crime was on top of the deck list, guys. Oh. Guys. That's crazy, man, right? Holy cow. All right, we wait. We wait. There's going to be a moment. We're going to find a way to get this Scion to the grave. Oh, Omniscience first. Omniscience to the grave. I'm getting ahead of myself again here. You want Omniscience to the grave, Reenact the Crime, then Stormscale's free, and everything else in hand is free too. So, dude, come on. Come on, anything off the top to get this Stormscale to the grave. We'll still have, because we have 6 mana, right? So a Bitter Reunion, Dragonstorm, and anything. I'm ready. They copy, they draw. Come on, come on. Need everything in hand, ready to go. This is so much damage, dude. We're on a clock. We might die next turn. Ral. You're too expensive, Ral. No, Ral, why? You're too expensive. 4 mana, we'll have 2 open. -3, draw 3, discard 2. Or we go Otterball, or yeah, Otterball, listen to me. We go Otter. Have a little bit of protection. Maybe Ral sticks around. Maybe has enough for us to go -3. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Because we're ready. We're set up, dude. So it's so silly, but we would have had it if I would have given the Kitsa haste, but I don't think it's usually going to be worth it. Oh, also, wait a minute. Kitsa was on the board. Bitter Reunion giving it haste, trading it. We would have only had 3 mana. Right? So I think I'm wrong there. Or I'm missing something. Oh, another Caretaker's Talent and their skeletons have haste, guys. All they need is removal and we lose this turn. And they draw 2, so I think that's game. Caretaker's Talent, no! This would have been so cool! Oh no. Yeah, now, I mean, we get to see the weakness of Reenact the Crime, where it needs to hit the grave that turn, so we need to have as many of, like, these effects as possible. I think there was probably a pretty good chance. Actually, we only had 1 more Bitter Reunion, by the way. Also, they had removal too. Wow. Dude, the opponent was ready, huh? The opponent was ready and established. Good game. That's a scary deck list. Orzhov Skeletons? With the new United Battlefront? Oh, holy cow, guys. Oh, also, oh no, I clicked through it. No, they had the Soul Stone too. I think they just played it, but if they would have powered it up, it's all creature types, right? Which means that it would have been a skeleton, which also meant it would have had haste, right? So, guys, again, another one where maybe this combo is much easier than I'm thinking. Also, Hellraiser would have been pretty good in that game too, so. All right. What you bringing to the table, opponent? Oh, guys, hey, while I have you here towards the middle or end, close to the end of the video, I suppose, right? While I have you here, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too. If you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Let me go ahead and decide if I'm keeping this so I don't hold the opponent too long. All right, we're going to give it a shot. Orzhov colors. Yeah, anyways, for the YouTube side of things as well, if you guys like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. We should probably keep the Surveil land. We have Reenact the Crime in hand ready to go for turn 4. We have Kitsa to establish next turn. Or on turn 3 also works, so we could go Bitter Reunion first, maybe. Yeah, as long as we don't get run over in these opening turns, we're ready. And as long as we see our 4th mana too. Which, I mean, we'll have 3 blue sources right away for the Reenact the Crime. All we need to see is any mana at that point. Could be tapped land, though. If it's tapped land, that does slow us down. Which is why I'm thinking turn 2 Bitter Reunion, make sure we have everything we need. And then turn 3 Kitsa. Hopefully it doesn't get removed. And then use the Kitsa, drop the Stormscale in the grave, Reenact the Crime on 4. No, Deep Cavern Bat, you get out of my hand. No, what did they take? All of it. They want everything here, but Reenact the Crime is probably the biggest thing on the list. But they don't, I mean, I have no idea what they take, because they can also slow this down pretty good by taking the Kitsa. They do take the Reenact the Crime. Now, guaranteed the Bitter Reunion as we try to find an ill-timed explosion. I'm going to send the Hellraiser. It would have been so good in the last game, but opponent? Opponent, come back! No! Opponent, where are you going? Oh no, that's not how I like to win. I don't know what that was about. That was weird. Maybe the opponent had to take a bathroom break. I don't know. Oh man. I would have loved to play that out because we had so much of our combo ready. We still had 3 more Reenact the Crimes in the deck list too. A couple ill-timed explosions also would have really helped us because we could have popped the bat, popped their wide board state too, because that looked like Raise the Past, so they like creatures in their grave, but that doesn't mean that we wouldn't have had like an extra turn to maybe play the Reenact the Crime that we got back. Ollie, ooh, this is very top heavy. Ooh, I'm gonna try it, guys. I think this is a mulligan hand, but we're gonna try it to push the deck to its limits and see what it's capable of with a 4 hand. Yeah, this is this is very top heavy. Oh, probably ill-timed explosion, depending on what they're playing. The Ral's pretty good too. I don't think they take the Reenact the Crime, yeah, because we don't have anything early here established, so that made a lot of sense. Taking Ral or ill-timed explosion. 3, I'm gonna send that. And I think we can, yeah, I think we can successfully send that without any worries here. Yeah, so far the Verge hasn't been holding us up, but we might be, it might be a little lucky, maybe not. I'm just going to play this for the sake of drawing, and then we're just not going to discard. Get it to the grave, we have Harmonize later on. It's sorcery speed too, so we can't keep it open. Alright. They pass it back. They're stuck on 2. Uh-oh. Right, so that's a good setup, but does it land? If it does land, does it stick on the board? We'd much rather prefer our plot, because the plot doesn't die to everything that the opponent is doing, right? Don't make a sound for the Kitsa. We don't have the Reenact the Crime next turn now, but still, again, like, how easy is this combo, actually? Because if we actually got to keep this on the board... lands, am I right? Aw, opponent, not like this, bro. Not like this, buddy. Here, I'll drop the ill-timed explosion just to draw for the turn. The opponent's missing mana. You can have some mana, opponent. I'll pass you this lighthouse. No worries. There's Highway Robbery. Ooh, buddy. Now we're talking. Greatness at any cost. Opponent's having a good time at least, right? Well, I mean, you guys know what I mean by a great time. Okay, so we plot this up, get it ready for Reenact the Crime next turn. We can still play Bitter Reunion this turn and ditch the Shivan Reef. We want to get the counter spells out of their hand before they Reenact the Crime, but they know that since they know we have Reenact the Crime thanks to the Duress. So Reenact the Crime number 2 would be pretty good. Roiling Dragonstorm. Okay. Okay, poor opponent, guys. That really sucks that they're missing mana. It really does. Okay, missed at any cost. All right, so we're gonna start by trying to get a counter spell out of the opponent's hand. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess the lighthouse here is fine. Still have 3 blue. Highway Robbery. I'm going to try ditching the Etali. Okay, discard a card. Etali to the grave. Yeah, this is probably a counter spell. Reenact the Crime number 2. That's great news. Come back, Etali. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? It really, really sucks that the opponent... There's a hole in your plan, says the opponent. Negate. Ah, very nice, very nice. Okay. Hellraiser is now 3 mana. Dude, how long is it going to take for the 3rd mana for the opponent? Oh no, opponent. Oh no. That's rough business, huh? Well, let's go. Let's surveil. Okay, we don't need more mana right now. Maybe they have more counter spells. We're gonna go for discarding Omniscience. This is funny because it's essentially like we're being permitted as much setup as possible or as we need. But like oh, if we can get Omniscience onto the board this turn, we get to see the how much it combos off with Dragonstorm or Roiling Dragonstorm here. Because we play them for free, then Dragon for free, then play the Dragonstorms again. Okay, another negate from the opponent. What if they like pull this back? They find their 3rd mana. Let's go, opponent. Let's go. Okay. I am getting a little concerned that we are about to run into some issues with the opponent actually pulling this back with some well-placed counter spells. Reenact the Crime. I mean, holy cow, right? We do that. We try it again. I know the opponent has 3 open now, but speaking of 3 open, we're going to make sure we get 2 open mana down to play around. Don't Make a Sound. Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah, let's go. Oh, opponent, let me play it out, buddy. Let me play it out. Hellraiser. 0 mana. Bring back those Dragonstorms. Maybe. All right. All right. So let's see what we hit with the Hellraiser too. Oh, we already have an Omniscience. We might as well go Ral, right? Might as well. Like, I mean, maybe double Omniscience would be good if we thought that they were going to pop the enchantment at some point. But both Roiling Dragonstorms are going to come back down. Probably before anything else. Oh, 0 mana. Royalty counter on Ral. Oh, I should have started with Ral. Yeah, crap. I should have started with utilizing Ral's draw. Ah, man. Mistakes were made. Kind of a misplay. Because we had the opportunity to use the Ral first. Okay, so we can discard the Canal. No worries there, right? We're going to get the other Roiling Dragonstorms down. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You guys ready for this? All right. I want to do this before the opponent leaves the building. So we're going to do it now. We're going to do it now. I know we could pop off more. I know, but we got to do it now. Because I don't want them to concede. This is so cool. This is so fun. Hey, good game, opponent. Good game. Thank you for letting me play it out. Letting me get the swing in too. What a champion. It was they're having fun with the emotes and everything too. That was good sport, right? So I really wish they would have seen more mana. I do think that if they would have seen more mana and they would have put up a fight, that we still potentially could have pulled off the combo. Just based on how it was ready to be set up and everything. So, dude, that was so cool. That was awesome. Let's just end on a high note. I know the opponent didn't find mana, and I know like maybe we would have never been able to have such a cool setup. Oh, cast 6 or more spells in a single turn. I'm surprised it took me this long to get that, guys. For real. Holy cow. What's the last red ones that I need? The one shot? I can't believe I didn't get that yet. And sacrifice a permanent you don't own. We'll have to build a special deck list just for both of those, huh? End of video pack real quick. It's a new one. Check it out. See what we get. It's a Mistrise Village. Okay, this is one to keep your eye on, dude, for real. Because I've been running into a lot of counterspells recently, so. All right, let's go over this deck list again. Izzet Stormscale. Yeah, we full leaned into the combo. We got to see Hellraiser do the thing today, too. Misplay at the end there where I didn't utilize the ability on Ral. Luckily, it didn't come into play. But just watch out for that. For some reason, I thought Ral was actually just going to survive, and I wanted to start by getting extra loyalty counters. Realistically, if the opponent has open mana, probably just want to start with the Planeswalker ability. Then on the stack of the ability, the opponent will respond. Instead, I went Dragonstorm first. It was just an oopsie daisies. Luckily, it didn't matter though. 3 Omniscience makes sense. I wouldn't go up to 4 of these. 1 Etali makes sense. I wouldn't go up any of these. 4 Hellraisers, 4 Stormscales, main build-arounds. And the main build-around is the Scion, of course. But Hellraiser also being one of the paths to victory, where if we're having trouble getting a card into the grave on the same turn as Reenacting the Crime, then Hellraiser might still be enough to hit an Omniscience from the grave and pop off with the Scion anyways. Just really, really cool. All this trading out with the Dragonstorm and the Bitter Reunion and the Highway Robbery is terrific. Kitsa's right now the weakest link because there's just so much removal, no matter what, all the time. Even like, and the removal's here because of mice and mono red or Boros Auras, all the hyper aggressive deck lists people need, to remove their creatures or they die on their turn 3. So that unfortunately we catch the splash damage. Poor Kitsa catches the splash damage, right? From all that extra removal. So I wouldn't drop them though. That's the problem. It's an additional card that if it is established on the board, it's a free way to discard and still get a Reenact the Crime on the same turn. And yeah, sometimes you're not looking at a turn 4 Reenact the Crime, but I'll tell you what, you're definitely looking at it if it's something like Etali or Omniscience. Sometimes you're not looking at a turn 4 Scion because you want to wait for turn 5 Scion to give it haste with the Bitter Reunion or something. I liked the Glacial Dragonhunt and the Ill-Timed Explosion especially, but these realistically, it's just not enough removal. If we go up removal and we start leaning this Izzet mid-range, we start taking away from the combo, and I just full leaned into the combo, bro, like big time. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we were able to pull off some of the combos today. And the opponent missing mana, of course, right? But if we lean it mid-range, we might be able to take some of the jank out of it a little bit, a bit more early removal and stuff. I think that what will end up happening is we would just be playing Izzet mid-range at that point, and then we would get to the point where we're ready for the Scions, and we're just not able to pop off with it as much as we would hope. Maybe we get a couple Scions on the same turn, or it's super late game and we drew enough, we could play a couple extra things, get a Scion down, and that might still be pretty good, and we might be able to get like a good swing through, like maybe 18 damage through or something. But if you are going that far into the late game, a lot of deck lists do know how to gain life, mostly from lifelink. and like cards like Sheltered by Ghosts and stuff too. So you really need to pop off sometimes, like big time pop off. So I don't know. I like leaning Fool into the combo. What do you guys think? Let me know what you would add or take out first of all. I would say I'm not going to change anything. This is just one, put it on the do not craft list because it's very, very expensive, right? Let's do some rearranging real quick. Let's look at this. Omniscience is mythic. Stormscale is mythic. Hellraiser is mythic. Rail, you guessed it, it's mythic. Etali's rare. Ill-Timed Explosion's rare. Reenact the Crime is rare. Kitsa is, oh dear, mythic. Uncommon, common, common, uncommon. Okay, how about the mana base? Here's a common. Verge is rare, of course. Reef is rare. Canal's rare. Temple is rare. Thundering Falls is rare. We don't need this much dual land. Well, I should say we don't need this much rare dual land. We could probably do some budget trade outs in the mana base, but cards that I wouldn't trade out is like the Thundering Falls because the Surveil is another free way to get cards into the grave by playing the Surveil land on your 5th turn, still have 4 open, Surveil a top end into the grave, and still hit a Reenact the Crime or something, right? I am still a little concerned by the Verge. Again, we're looking here, and we're leaning that little bit red, just a little bit red though. And Verge might only tap for red sometimes. And if you look at it this way, we have 5 red sources and an island, and then the rest are dual land. So these 3 mana power up the Verge to be an excellent, excellent dual land, and so does the Thundering Falls, but the other land does not. So yeah, I am a little concerned about the Verge. That is something to keep your eye on for sure. It just didn't hold us up at all today. There's another thing too where you're having trouble with the Verge. Maybe you can do some trading out with Bitter Reunion or Dragonstorm. Find a way to power up that Verge with one of these 7 lands. That's very possible. 7 cards is a lot of cards when you're digging through your deck list the way this deck digs through the deck list. Okay, I couldn't think of another way to say that. So, guys, oh holy cow! I don't like how I rearranged that at all. Let me go back. We're skipping the 3 drops completely. It's so funny. And then no 1 drops means our turn 3 is always looking a little awkward. But when you have this many tapped lands too, your turn 3 might often just look like Surveil or Scry or Lighthouse, right? If the opponent didn't already dwindle your life total below that that cost there for the Lighthouse. Yeah. The turn 3s are a little awkward. The curve is very janky. When I put it up, even though we pulled off the thing, we kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it up as jank. I'm gonna put it up as combo jank probably on Aether Hub. And what we need to consider if we want to bring it a little bit closer to like, I don't want to say competitive. I don't know what word I'm looking for. If we want to try to win more with it, we probably want to lean it more mid-range and have more removal. And at that point, I'm looking at more ill-timed explosions. I think this card is going to be terrific right now against the meta. I think the 3rd one would be worthwhile. And I think the other things that we would drop, we could probably drop Ral. I kind of like having it in here as the one of. It's kind of a cool card. I would drop Kitsa down to 2. Ral, Kitsa down to 2. Go up the 3rd ill-timed explosion. Go up some more early removal. Drop a Hellraiser down to 3 probably. Go up more early removal. I would do that now, but again, it kind of performed well enough to not change anything. So I don't want to go up. I don't want to go up like extra rares and stuff at the end here. I think I'm going to keep it the same. Yeah. I'm not changing anything, but this is very important, guys. I'm going over it for a reason. Also, yeah, like I said, put it on the do not craft list. I'm talking like people are going to put this together. But guys, don't craft it. There's way too many mythics. It's going to be janky. You're going to pull off the combo every now and then. It's going to feel great. But at what cost, bro? The meta's brutal. So, but it was pretty fun. If you have all the cards already, maybe try it out. If you don't have to craft a single card, I think you could have some fun with this. And then get back to me and let me know if you did some trading out. Like I said, adding more removal or something. Dropping the Kitsa down to 2. Drop the Ral. Go up the ill-timed explosion. Drop the Hellraiser down to 3. go up more early removal, fill the deck list to 60 cards. The 24 mana felt pretty good. I wouldn't go up any, wouldn't go down any. And yeah, all the extra dual land really coming into play. The other options for some budget dual land. Actually, this wouldn't be a terrible one. Right here, the Molten Tributary. Don't know why. I don't know how to say that word right now. Anyways, it's an island and a mountain. So you could maybe drop, let's see, Temple of Epiphany. Right? Since it's an island and a mountain, that'll help you power up the Verge a little bit better. And a Reef, maybe. A Reef or two down to 2 or 3, or 3 or 2. I'm sorry, guys. I'm struggling with the words right now. But yeah, this is a great budget trade-in that also powers up the Reef. I'm actually considering it right now. But I opted for the Scry because combo deck lists care about scrying and stuff too. And of course, the life gain land. Sometimes you can't go wrong with a extra life here and there, and it's a good budget land too. So, okay, guys, holy cow, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Definitely let me know what you thought of this deck list. That was pretty cool. It was awesome that we got to pull off a huge Stormscale Scion swing with the Bitter Reunion. The opponent was such a champion for sticking around, even while missing all that mana. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you again, opponent. That was awesome. Okay, I will see you in the next video.